So right now, the Sony Linkbuds S are my favorite earbuds that Sony has ever put out. And personally, I really hope that we see a Linkbuds Pro, because Sony is finally on the right track with the Linkbuds S. But if you are trying to choose between any of Sony's earbuds as of mid-2022, today we're going to compare the Linkbuds S to the Sony WF-C500s, the open-back Linkbuds, and the Sony WF-1000XM4s. And please do bear with me, I do have a bit of a sore throat. Regarding pricing, the WF-C500 retail for $100, the Linkbuds S retail for $180, and I feel these are very niche. The Linkbuds S retail for $200 and the WF-1000XM4s retail for $280. Pretty up there if you ask me. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these earbuds up, they'll be linked down below, or you can press on the YouTube shopping button. Give it a try. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about these cases. Now all of these earbuds have decently small cases that you can everyday carry. However, the WF-1000XM4s do have the smallest case. Plus, it has a slightly soft touch feel to it, making it feel very premium. The Linkbuds S also have a decently small case, but this case is made out of recycled plastic. But thankfully, this case isn't slippery like the first Linkbuds case. And then there's the WF-C500 case, which is decently small, but it's not as premium. But it gets the job done. But finally, there's the Linkbuds case, and personally, I hate this case. For starters, it is very slippery. Plus, due to its shape, it's hard to handle this case. I also hate that you have to press a button to open this spring-loaded lid, and the spring on this lid is very weak. But the magnets in this case are also very weak, and you also have to snap your earbuds in. So taking these earbuds out or putting them back away isn't as easy as with these other cases. So yeah, personally, I'm just not a fan of the Linkbuds case, but all of these other cases are fine. However, I do have to point out that wireless charging is currently reserved for Sony's most premium earbuds, the WF-1000XM4s, because all of these other cases don't have wireless charging. I don't think that this is an issue for the entry-level C500s, but I do think this is a big deal for the mid-tier Linkbuds and Linkbuds S. But now let's talk about battery life. The WF-1000XM4s have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. And with their active noise cancellation turned off, they can go for as long as 36 hours, which is both above average and very impressive. Then there are the Linkbuds S, which have an advertised combined battery life of 20 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. And with their active noise cancellation turned off, they can go for as long as 27 hours. Not bad. And then there are the C500s, which just have a combined battery life of 20 hours because they don't have active noise cancellation. Overall, both the WF-1000XM4s and Linkbuds S have above average battery lives, and the C500s are decent as well. But then there are the open-back Linkbuds, and I feel these earbuds have below average battery life for a pair of mid-tier earbuds from a premium brand. The Linkbuds only have a combined battery life of 17.5 hours, which I feel is rather last gen. However, these earbuds do have a rather small case, which I guess balances out, but I do feel that this is a major drawback. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. The C500s, Linkbuds S, and WF-1000XM4s all fit like a standard pair of in-ear earbuds, like let's say the Galaxy Buds 2, Sennheiser Momentum 3s, or Jabra Elite 7 Pros. As in, they go into your ear canals a decent amount. They aren't shallow fitting, like let's say the Earbuds Pro or Jabra Elite 85Ts. Now, standard fitting in-ear earbuds are good because they offer more lockdown than shallow fitting in-ear earbuds. And with the WF-1000XM4s, these earbuds come included with foam ear tips. And these foam ear tips offer even more lockdown, and they passively block out more noise than your standard silicone ear tips that you'll find on these other earbuds, which are going to help with active noise cancellation performance and even sound quality. But the thing about these foam ear tips is that I find them to be extremely itchy. I can only wear these earbuds for like 15 minutes before I have to rip them out and take a break. Plus, these foam ear tips are pretty big. Even these small ear tips on the XM4s feel a little too big. So for that reason, I simply find both the Linkbuds S and C500s to be way more comfortable than the WF-1000XM4s. But then there are the Linkbuds. These aren't in-ear earbuds like these other earbuds. The Linkbuds fit in the bowl of your ears like the AirPods 3 do. However, the Linkbuds also have a hole in them, meaning that these earbuds let in all of the ambient sound around you. Now, this could be useful if you need to be fully aware of your surroundings, but since these earbuds are open back, you're gonna have to listen to your media at higher volumes, and your media isn't going to sound as good as with these other earbuds because there's so much noise pollution interfering with your media. So overall, the Linkbuds are comfortable, but they aren't the most practical things out there. The foam ear tips on the WF-1000XM4s help with lockdown and with passively blocking out noise, but they aren't the most comfortable things out there either. Personally, I find that both the C500s and Linkbuds S are the only earbuds here that are both comfortable to wear and practical. Regarding connectivity, with all of these earbuds, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one, it doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see on all of our earbuds nowadays. And thankfully, Sony has managed to implement this on all of their earbuds now. And in general, I feel that Sony's earbuds are all good options for power users because with all of these earbuds, they will jump from one device to another if another device asks to pair with them. Now, this isn't as convenient as hot swapping, but at least you don't gotta use an app or put these earbuds into pairing mode every single time you want to jump from one device to another. But when it comes to overall performance, all of these earbuds have resiliency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. But when it comes to audio codecs, the C500s have support for SBC and AAC, a very standard stack. Whereas with all of these other earbuds, they have support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC, which is Sony's own in-house high-res audio codec. Now, AAC is going to work perfectly fine whether you're an iPhone or an Android user. But if you do want to take advantage of LDAC, then you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. But keep in mind, if you do decide to use LDAC, it does take its toll on the battery life because for comparison's sake, with the Linkbuds S, these things are rated for 6 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on and while they're using AAC. But if they're using LDAC, they're only rated for 3.5 hours of playback time. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Now, the C500, Linkbuds S, and WF-1000XM4s are all better suited for someone who likes a bass-heavy sound signature, because these earbuds do like to lean towards a warmer sound signature. But definitely, both the Linkbuds S and WF-1000XM4s sound better than the C500s. The bass on the C500s can roll off a little bit and it can overpower the rest of your music, and the highs on these earbuds can get tinny at times. Whereas the bass on both the Linkbuds S and WF-1000XM4s is much cleaner, and when it starts to resonate, it doesn't roll off. And more importantly, the highs on these earbuds don't get distorted. Now, yes, both the Linkbuds S and WF-1000XM4s do have better instrument separation than the C500s, but these earbuds still sound a little narrow because they mainly prioritize the vocals and bass. Instrumentals don't really have all that much room to shine here. Now, all of these earbuds do connect to Sony's app, and you can customize their EQ. And if you're someone that likes a more neutral or vocals-focused EQ, then both the Linkbuds S and WF-1000XM4s can get the job done if you lower their bass and raise the mids and treble. But since the instrument separation on these earbuds isn't the best, they can still leave you wanting more. Overall, like I said, the C500s sound good enough to get the job done if you like a more bass-heavy sound signature, and both the Linkbuds S and WF-1000XM4s are also better suited for someone who likes a more bass-heavy sound signature. But these two more premium earbuds do perform better than the entry-level earbuds here because their bass doesn't roll off and their highs don't get as distorted. And then there are the open back Linkbuds. Now personally, I would only recommend these earbuds for passively listening to your music because your music just isn't going to sound the best with these earbuds. Since the Linkbuds are open back, you're going to be constantly fighting noise pollution, and in general, these earbuds also have a very bass heavy sound signature. But these earbuds sound much more hollow and shallow because you can barely hear the instrumentals with these. Now personally, I found that these earbuds sound best while in their bright EQ setting because at least because this way you can hear the mids. But like I said, I would only recommend these earbuds for passively listening to music because their open back design just isn't going to allow your music to sound its best. Plainly said, I would much rather listen to music with the C500s rather than with the Linkbuds. Now, regarding the meter controls on these earbuds, the C500s are using physical buttons. Both the Linkbud S and the WF-1000XM4s are using touchpads, and the Linkbuds are using haptic touchpads, similar to the original AirPods. And personally, I love the haptic touchpads on the Linkbuds. They're a good in-between between physical buttons and touchpads. But the really cool thing about the Linkbuds is that they have this wide tap area feature, where you don't actually have to tap the earbuds themselves. Now, I think this is a very cool idea, and I really wish that the Linkbud S also had this feature, but they don't. The only issue about the wide tap area feature is that I found that it can get activated while you're chewing, and let's face it, this is a big deal because a lot of people use their earbuds while they eat. But with that aside, with the Linkbuds, Linkbud S, and WF-1000XM4s, you can customize the layout of their media controls, whereas with the C500s, you can't. But also with the C500s, these are the only earbuds here that don't have proximity sensors. So these earbuds will not automatically play or pause your music if you take them out of your ears or put them back in. And personally, I do feel that this is a major inconvenience. But given that these are a pair of entry-level earbuds, I guess it can pass. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds, and I'm actually very excited to talk about the ANC on these earbuds because Sony is back to doing ANC very well. However, both the C500s and Linkbuds don't have active noise cancellation, and I do want to taper expectations here. The ANC on these earbuds isn't going to block out as much noise as a proper pair of over-ear ANC headphones, like either the Bose QC45s, AirPod Max, or the Sony 1000XM5s, which are currently my top 3 ANC headphones. Now, the Sony WF-1000XM4s are still number 1 when it comes to active noise cancellation because they block out a ton of noise. Albeit, they do have an advantage because of their itchy foam ear tips, which personally I am just not a fan of. But right below them are the Sony Linkbud S, which also block out a ton of noise, but they do so with silicone ear tips, so they're way more comfortable. So personally, I do prefer them. Now, right below them are the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Right below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Below them are the AirPods Pro. Below them are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. Below them are the Beats Fit Pro, and in last place are the Galaxy Buds Pro. So overall, Sony claims the top 2 spots here when it comes to active noise cancellation. And personally, the Linkbud S are my top pick when it comes to ANC earbuds, simply because these are way more comfortable to wear than the Sony WF-1000XM4s and their itchy foam ear tips, and they also have a much more manageable case than the Bose QC earbuds. Now, the Linkbud S also have a really good sounding ambient mode. However, the ambient mode on the Linkbud S doesn't sound as good as the ambient mode on the WF-1000XM4s. The ambient mode on the WF-1000XM4s doesn't have a constant hissing to it in the background like the Linkbud S do, and the ambient mode on the WF-1000XM4s doesn't amplify your own voice like the Linkbud S do. Now, due to the Linkbuds open back design, these earbuds have an ambient mode because they let in everything. However, unlike with these other 2 earbuds, you can turn the ambient mode on these earbuds on and off, and this is just another reason why I just don't like the open back design of the Linkbuds. And then there are the C500s, which just don't have an ambient mode. And another feature that the C500s simply just don't have is speak to chat, which works a little like this. Hello there. So this is speak to chat. Basically, when you start talking, these earbuds will automatically lower the volume of your music and pump in all of the ambient sound around you so that you can talk to someone without having to touch the earbuds themselves. Now, these earbuds will stay in this state for a preset determined amount of time, which you can adjust through their app, or you can also cancel speak to chat by double tapping on the touchpad like this. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of speak-to-chat on the headphones, and I'm also not a fan of speak-to-chat on the earbuds. Now, my problem with speak-to-chat is that it's very easy to accidentally activate it. Speak-to-chat will get activated if you're talking to yourself very quietly, even if you were to go into the app and lower the sensitivity. It's also going to get activated if you start laughing at something, and sometimes speak-to-chat will get activated due to some outside noise. So to avoid any accidental interruptions, I just turn off speak-to-chat. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, Sony has always struggled with their microphones for phone calls on their earbuds, and ironically, I feel that the WF-1000XM4s have the worst performing microphone here. Now, the microphone on the C500 sounds much more robotic, but I would actually argue that it's much easier to understand me with these earbuds than with the more premium WF-1000XM4s. But things might be changing with the Linkbuds because these earbuds sound and perform better than the microphone found on the WF-1000XM4s. I can't help but feel that the microphone on the Linkbud and Linkbud S do a much better job of focusing on my voice. But for sure, the microphone on the Linkbud and Linkbud S do a much better job of dealing with noise pollution. Because right now, these earbuds are doing a decent job of blocking out this road noise, although they are pushing down my voice quite a bit. But for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Linkbud S, it is reduced. And the same thing can be said about the open back earbuds. These earbuds are reducing this road noise, but they're also pushing down my voice. Whereas with the C500s, I do sound rather choppy, but at least you can make out what I'm saying. But then there are the WF-1000XM4s, and with these earbuds, there is a lot of static when I'm talking in the background. And this is actually an improvement because when these earbuds first came out, this was a lot worse. Now, the WF-1000XM4s also aren't doing the best job of dealing with this chatter, but at least there isn't a whole lot of static in the background when I'm talking this time around. Whereas with the WF-C500, my voice is a lot more forward, but there's still some choppiness. Nonetheless, I do prefer how this microphone sounds over the WF-1000XM4s. But finally, there are the Linkbud and Linkbud S, and these earbuds are doing a decent job of blocking out this chatter. But they are pushing down my voice, and again, for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the Linkbud S, it is reduced. Overall, I do prefer the microphone on the Linkbud and Linkbud S over the microphone found on the WF-1000XM4s. Personally, I would still try to take phone calls with these earbuds in a quieter environment, and the microphone on these earbuds does pale in comparison to, let's say, the Apple AirPods 3. But with all of that being said, the Sony WF-C500s are a decent pair of entry-level earbuds to pick up. Overall, they get the job done. They have a decently small case and you can adjust their EQ to your liking. Now, if active noise cancellation is super important to you and you absolutely need to block out the most amount of noise with your earbuds, these things truly block out a ton of noise and their foam ear tips really do give them an advantage. But like I have explicitly warned a few times already, personally I find the foam ear tips on the WF-1000XM4s to be very itchy and uncomfortable. But that might not be the case with you. But also keep in mind that these earbuds don't have the best microphone for phone calls, but they do have really impressive battery life. But personally, I do prefer and recommend the Linkbud S over the WF-1000XM4s simply because their silicone ear tips are way more comfortable to wear. Plus, they also block out a ton of noise and they also have a really good battery life. The only main drawback about these earbuds from the WF-1000XM4s is their lack of wireless charging. But I would still rather go with the Linkbud S than with the WF-1000XM4s. But finally, there are the open back Linkbuds. Personally, I find these earbuds to be very niche and their open back design is more of a handicap more than anything else. For me, it is very hard to justify getting the Linkbuds and it's also very hard for me to recommend them. Personally, I simply wish that Sony would give us Linkbuds, but without the open back design. Give us a pair of Linkbuds that directly compete against the AirPods 3 and Galaxy Buds Live. I am sure that there are people that would love a pair of super comfortable earbuds from Sony that they can wear for multiple hours on end. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.